What's up guys, it's RevJ again. Last time we put the new wheels on the back of the C10, took a look at them, and now it's time to talk about one of the other mods that's going to go hand in hand with getting these new wheels, and that's finally doing a rear disc brake conversion on this 12-bolt rear end. Alright, now when I originally went and got the truck, even before I did the engine swap or anything like that, it just had non-power front disc brakes with the rear drums. And the front stuff was switched over from a 71-72 C10. So it's got front disc brakes with the D52 style caliper, that's that the GM full-size caliper, on a 5x5 lug pattern, and it has the 1.25" rotor. So when I went and did the LS motor swap, I also went ahead and added this here. It's the Hydroboost setup out of like a 97 AstroVan. My front accessories here, my power steering pump, already had the 3-hose system, so I was set up for it. All I had to do was swap over to this style master cylinder and booster and use a little adapter bracket sort of thing that I cobbled together to get it all fit onto the firewall. Now at the same time that I did that, I also switched the front calipers out for a Wilwood D52. It's basically the same style caliper, but it uses a different piston design on the inside, a much larger piston, and of course it's a Wilwood, so there's a little bit more engineering in it, and it's also this fancy red color. Made a great difference to the way the truck felt and stopped, and it also left me with an extra set of old D52 calipers sitting on my shelf. Now the nice part about that is to do a rear disc brake swap onto this, thanks to CaptainFab who makes the brackets, it uses the D52 style caliper, and since I had an extra pair of them sitting on my shelf, I was already a good portion into the investment needed to do this swap. Now it took a few minutes to make sure these were in good mechanical order, get them all cleaned up, taken apart, and painted with a matching red caliper paint. I'm not trying to imitate the Wilwood style, but having red front calipers and just a plain metal rear caliper didn't make sense to me since you're going to see them, so taking a few minutes to get them reconditioned seemed like a worthwhile investment of time. Now the second part of the equation was going to be finding a rear brake rotor that fit my 5x5 spacing and would fit over the brackets into the rear of the truck without changing anything super crazy drastically. The beautiful part about that is that these parts here are the original front rotors off to like a 96-97 Astro, the same thing that I used for the donor for that Hydroboost setup. This has got that tall hat, and it is the 1.25" thick rotor. Like I was saying before, the rotor thickness matters. There was a 1-inch rotor that was available, and your calipers may be set up for that. This is the 1.25", so that's what I have to find to work with the rear. It's also got that proper 5x5 bolt spacing, like I said. This will mount over the bracket, give enough depth for everything to fit, give enough caliper clearance, and again with the bracket that I'll show you guys in a second, will fit over my axle tabs and allow me to go rear disc in the back of this C10 on a 12-bolt rear end. And here's the final piece of the equation, the CaptainFab bracket setup. It's a 3-piece bracket setup with hardware. You've got your rear, we'll call it the backing plate here. This is actually where the caliper is going to mount to. You've got this large spacer plate in the middle. This thing's got some weight to it, so at least I know it won't be breaking anytime soon. This plate goes on top, over everything, sandwiches in there together. You've got the caliper, which is going to mount here. Your brake rotor will slide over all of this. Wheel and tire combo obviously sits on top. And then you've got 4-wheel disc brakes in the back of your 12-bolt vintage C10. I am super excited to see what this thing can do. I already got a ton of braking force with those D52 Wilwoods up front and Hydroboost, so going to a 4-wheel disc brake I think is really going to be the cherry on top. Really going to level off the handling, plus a little more braking when you're making good power has never hurt anybody. Let's go ahead and pull off the wheel and tire combo. We'll slide off that drum. We can take a look at the backing plate and everything holding it together, and then take a look at setting this guy up in its place. The backing plate attaches to the axle pretty simply. Unfortunately, to get any of this off, the axle has to come out, and that means popping the differential cover off, draining the fluid, and getting access to the C-clips to slide the axles out. One single bolt retains this dowel. It's the actual piece that transmits all the power from your engine to the wheels, and it slides out of the housing once the bolt is removed. Then I can slide the axles inward, using a magnet to remove the C-clips that actually retain them into the differential.
So at this point, I can basically go ahead, pull off the backing plates, and start test fitting the new brake stuff, make sure all the brackets and calipers clear and everything. Then I'll get around to replacing the bearings, the seals, get everything powder coated, and we can get it all back together.
Okay guys, so everything is taken apart pretty much. We went ahead and pulled the drums off, went ahead and pulled the axles out, went ahead and pulled the backing plates off, have that all taken apart. Those brackets I showed you guys are off to powder coat, so we've got to get those back. Let's see, what else? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade all the brake lines on this thing, obviously excluding the stuff that's already stainless braided line. All of the rest of the lines are gonna get upgraded to nickel copper. That's awesome stuff. As a matter of fact, some pictures of that are probably up on my social media right now. If you don't follow me already, take a chance and go over there. It's the worst thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna get some cool pictures of my truck or some pictures of friendly cats that I meet. All right, let's see, what else? Well, since the axles are out, I gotta go ahead and drive all those old studs out, and we gotta go ahead and run a longer wheel stud. So that's all gotta happen. I gotta get the stuff back from powder coat. There's a ton more upgrades that are gonna happen. We'll go ahead and get all this reassembled, finish the rest of this brake conversion, and kind of show you how badass that's gonna work with the Hydroboost and all that stuff. So that's all gonna be in a future video, guys. Like I said, check out my social media, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if there's anything you wanna see. And that's it for now. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time, guys.